Because without the United States, everything in the world would die. It's true. It's so powerful. It's so big, and I made it really big.
The world respects us right now more than they have ever respected us.
Well, you patriotic Trump supporters, Italy just denied our military aircraft from using their airbase. France won't allow some of our aircraft to fly over their country. Poland refused our request for a missile battery. And Spain refused to allow us to use their bases. That's not respect.
A lot of travel is down into the United States from around the world. It feels like there's been reputational damage.
The country's doing great. Well, prices are down.
Not the tourism.
Gasoline's down. Energy's down. Tourism is going to be way up. Wait till you see the numbers. The tourism is way up.
Not now.
Now, Canada, tourism's doing very well. We're doing very well. We're doing very well. Wait till you see the real numbers come out in 6 months from now. Wait till you see the numbers.
What do you think of Donald Trump?
The god-awful nightmare. We apologize.
The fact that a lot of people are seeing what he's doing and still following him and pointedly thinking that he's a good leader, I just feel like it's heartbreaking.
There's never been a worse, more evil, more terrible human being to ever be president of the United States.
I mean, if he truly cared, he could do it much better, but he simply doesn't.
His policies are terrible. We're a joke in the eyes of the world, and no one respects us, and he's dividing this country tremendously.
This is horrible. We have a terrible, crazy president. It's unhinged. It's horrible. It should not be happening.
How does it make you feel? I mean, literally, we all know where we are, right? And
yeah,
being
yeah.
in the side, what do you
think? I was here when World Trade Center happened. I'm a New Yorker. So, it's only worse. It's terrifying. It's terrifying. It's horrible.
Like how I said before, learning how to have discretion, learning how to deal with things with humility.
Not very pleased, because you can't just come out as a politician of anybody and say, this is what's going to happen. So it's really just, it's for me, it's words that a politician shouldn't use. It's, even though he might think it's the truth in his own mind, it's not in my mind, I'm afraid.
I think the whole situation is quite devastating and sad, and I really hope peace comes back. And I think, to be fair, being in such a place where, the 9/11 Memorial Centre, it's a big reminder of what the impacts of war and all this international terrorism can happen and do.
Well, a little bit of breaking news, folks. New South Wales, which is a state of the beautiful country of Australia, population about 8.6, 8.7 million people, is looking at the possibility of banning US liquor. That's right. They're looking at the possibility of banning US liquor from that state. Now, that would be a huge dent in American exports of all kinds of wines, beers, and liquor.
So it looks like Canada understood the assignment. Look at this. We took $3.3 billion out of the U.S. economy. $3.3 billion gone just by not going there, by staying home, spending time in Canada, or going to Europe, or going to Australia, or going to New Zealand, or going any place other than the U.S. $3.3 billion gone from their economy, and all because of us. So great job, Canada. Maybe this year we'll get a little higher. What do you think? Okay. Canadians understood the assignment.
So Canadians have been boycotting the United States and not traveling here because of Donald Trump, and it really worked. Canadians made 29.1 million trips to the United States in 2025, which is down from 39 million in 2024. The drop was the sharpest in more than 50 years of record keeping, and it's not like Canadians just stopped traveling altogether. They just started going other places. So for example, trips to Asia from Canada jumped 16.7% year over year. Trips to Europe also rose 13.6% year over year. So Canada gave Donald Trump the middle finger, and it looks like it worked.
You got your own Vladimir Putin, who is absolutely despised and hated by the world. And by the way, we now have 0 allies in the United States of America in one quick week. As our neighbors up north in Canada said, it feels like we're living above a meth lab, is what they've told me.
Can I just ask you your perspective on USA?
President's gotta go. Trump's gotta go. And I know there's a lot of Canadians that agree with me. Yeah. We fucking hate him, man. We fucking hate him. And I'm on that side, so fuck Trump. That's all I'm gonna say.
Would you say he's the one that mainly ruined the US?
He's one of the reasons. Yeah, I think right now he's probably about 90% of the reason why U.S. is in the show. And the that he's doing in Iran, man, fucked everything up.
But now that the fight is here, we are sticking up for ourselves and we are pushing back. And today we're announcing that we're pulling $80 million out of the American economy. And that's just little old Manitoba. So I'm asking you to buy Canadian beer and to buy Canadian wine and Canadian liquor as part of us sticking up for our jobs and sticking up for our economy.
Canadians have been boycotting the United States and not traveling here because of Donald Trump.
Let's be clear about those stats. So aside from the fact that many Canadians are not traveling to the United States because of all of the threats to our sovereignty and because of the morality or lack thereof of Donald Trump and his administration, aside from that, anybody who, like me, is anti-Trump because we have a heart and we've posted anything online, whether that's making videos like me or putting simple comments on social media or just look like me, we don't want to go to the United States so we don't end up in a cage. Yeah.
More important things than worrying about him and what he's going to do here. Why doesn't he just stay there and leave us all alone?
I couldn't care less. And it's causing a hell of a carry on for people who stay in the area. I think it's a disgrace. They're shutting this village down so he can go and play a game of golf.
This is golf course, he's got to be able to visit it, but it is a bit of a, it seems to be open overkill.
When President Trump came in, he disrespected our allies. He literally threatened to invade one of them, and he called the other one. He said, oh, they're just the 51st state, right? That's Canada. And then he put tariffs on our allies in a completely irrational way. It made no economic sense, made no national security sense. With that comes pushback. This is a self-owned goal. We created this problem, but it is a tragic moment because in the long term, America, in dealing with China and Russia and Iran and North Korea, we need our allies.
Family, for generations, the world has operated under one assumption, that America was the center of everything. And when countries wanted economic opportunities, stronger alliances, or even access to global markets, the United States was often the first place they looked. But something unexpected is beginning to happen, family. A quiet shift is taking place, and it is happening in a country many people overlooked for years. And so Canada, for a long time, Canada was viewed simply as America's neighbor, a close ally, a trading partner, and a country living in the shadow of a much larger economy. But now, family, Canada is trying to rewrite the story. Instead of depending on one relationship, Canada is looking outward. It is building stronger connections, expanding opportunities, and showing the world that it wants to compete on its own terms. And so this is what has really caught people's attention, because in a world where countries are questioning old assumptions, having options has become more valuable than ever. And so many nations are realizing that relying too heavily on one economic partner can create risks. When disagreements happen, when policies change, or when trade becomes complicated, countries need alternatives. And so Canada is positioning itself as one of those alternatives. With its natural resources, educated workforce, stable institutions, and access to major markets, Canada has many of the ingredients needed to become a bigger player on the global stage. But the most interesting part is the timing, family. The moment comes as relationships between Canada and the United States have faced new challenges. Political disagreements and even economic tensions have forced Canada to ask an important question. What happens if we build a future where we are not dependent on just one direction? And so that question has changed the conversation, family. Canada is no longer only talking about being America's closest partner, it is also talking about becoming a stronger global competitor. And that is why more people are paying attention to what happens next, because global influence is not only about size, it is also about trust. It is about partnerships. It is about whether countries believe you are a reliable place to invest, to trade, and even build relationships. And Canada is trying to build that reputation, family. And so the world is entering a period where countries are becoming more strategic. They are looking at where they invest, who they partner with, and how they protect their own interests. And so this does not really mean that the world is abandoning America. the United States remains one of the most powerful nations on earth, family. But history shows that global influence is really and constantly changing.